It is officially WrestleMania week, the best week of the year for wrestling fans, and it is arguably more stacked than it has ever been before. I am Ben Allison of Wrestling Republic, and in this video I'm going to be giving my recommended viewing for WrestleMania weekend. Because there are so many great shows going on, I have limited myself to recommending only 2 shows at once, so you have 2 possible options, or maybe you could watch one on your TV and one on your phone or something like that. Now in this video I'm going to be covering Thursday to Sunday of WrestleMania weekend, but there are a couple of great shows happening on Wednesday as well, including GCW's WWE ID tournament happening at 4 p.m. Pacific, and Dragon Gate USA The Rebirth happening at 8 p.m. Pacific. But now let's kick things off on Thursday morning, where we have Defy Wrestling at 11 Pacific. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I am a big fan of Defy, right? And there are matches on this card which you have to check out, including Clark Connors versus ELP of New Japan Pro Wrestling and Man Like DeReiss for the Defy World Championship. That is going to be a banger. Plus Kenta versus Mance Warner and Evil versus Michael Oku. Definitely a fun show to kick off your weekend with. Then, cheap plug, we do have Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast on at its normal time of 12 p.m. Pacific on Thursday as well, where we are going to be talking the previous night's AEW Dynamite. Then at 3, we have the Mark Hitchcock Memorial Super Show. This show is fun every single year. In fact, this is the one show I always make sure I go out of my way to check out. We have Mickie James versus Maki Ito, Ninja Mac versus Mascaro Dorado, I should say, and TMDK, including Zack Sabre Jr. versus Hechicero, Michael Oku, and Flip Gordon. That is going to be a bunch of fun, and of course, Suzuki versus Butterbean as well. On at the same time, though, we do have the West Coast Pro Wrestling Vegas Vacation. And by the way, pretty much all of these shows can be seen on Triller TV. This one specifically is on High Spots TV. But we have Kevin Blackwood versus Calvin Tankman. We have Mao versus Gia Jewel. We have Trevor Lee versus Timothy Thatcher. And just up and down, this is a really stacked card. And again, featuring Man Like DeReiss. I mean, a lot of these performers, by the way, are literally running from venue to venue. In some cases, they are on both shows at once. So maybe they'll kick off one show and be at the end or later on in the show in another one. So they'll literally go from venue to venue. It is just a crazy weekend and always so much fun. Then at 6, we will have TNA Wrestling Unbreakable, where we will have a barbed wire massacre with Sami Callihan taking on Mance Warner, somebody else who's going to be very, very busy across this weekend, and Masha Slamovich teaming with Joe Hendry to take on Frankie Kazarian and Tessa Blanchard as well. Plus a TNA International Championship tournament, which does promise to be a lot of fun. Also, it's not on this graphic, right? But Prestige Wrestling Nothing to Lose at 7 p.m. Pacific. It doesn't fit on the schedule, but it breaks my heart. It doesn't. But it is free on YouTube, I believe. I believe it will be live on there as well for free. And it's got Suzuki versus Priest, Michael Oku versus El Phantasmo, Kevin Blackwood versus Leon Slater. It is absolutely stacked. But then at 8 p.m., one of the shows which a lot of people are looking forward to, Josh Barnett's Bloodsport 13. Josh Barnett, Gabe Kidd, Natalya versus Miyu Yamashita, Pete Dunne versus Timothy Thatcher, Layla Hirsch versus Jordan Blade, Charlie Dempsey versus Shinya Aoki. It is absolutely stacked from top to bottom. Karrion Kross versus JR Kratos as well. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Jonathan Gresham. Shayna Baszler versus Konami. The card is stacked. And if you've not seen Bloodsport before, it is such a unique show. Definitely one you need to go out of your way to check out this WrestleMania weekend. Then at 11 p.m., we have Marvelous Pro Wrestling. We have Nyla Rose in action against Sora Ayami, Maya Ward versus Rina Yamashita. I mean, that is a really exciting card as well. Sadie Gibbs in action, one of my personal favorites. And of course, Masha Slamovich. She's going to be busy as well over the weekend versus Ai Hozan. Really, really stacked card. But a personal highlight for me will be at 11:59 p.m., Progress Wrestling, arguably my favorite wrestling promotion, will be in action in Las Vegas. Luke Jacobs versus Michael Oku for the Progress Men's World Championship. Nina Samuels versus Rio versus Vixen for the Progress Women's World Championship. Going to be another banger as well. And for the Atlas title, Axel Tischer will be defending against Mike D. And we will have a Progress Proteus Championship scramble with Simon Miller, slap your head, taking on Paul Walter Hauser, Adam Priest, Charles Crozy, and Effie. Oh, and just in case that wasn't enough championships on the line, there is also the WXW Unified World Championship, as One Cold Manders will be defending against Marcus Mathers and Tate Mayfair in a triple threat match. Plus, Minoru Suzuki versus Kara Noir as well. I am pumped for that one. Now, this will be live on Triller TV, but I also believe it will be live on Demand Progress Plus as well. And if you use code What'sProgress1, you can get 50% off your first month, the home of Progress Defy Wrestling and more, a fantastic streaming service. Before we get into Friday's action, please like and subscribe. It really does help us out here at Wrestling Republic. We are doing so many videos this WrestleMania week. We got an interview of Ariane Andrew last night. Of course, former WWE star Cameron. Make sure to check that out from Sunday Night Spotlight. So much wrestling content, daily live streams. Thank you, guys. But now we are on to Friday, and Friday, well, it is stacked. Let's kick things off with Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, because we got Mizuki versus Miyu Yamashita for the Princess of Princess Championship. We also have a tag team match with Nakajima and Hyper Misawa taking on Yuka Kamifuki and Wakana Yuhara. I am so sorry, guys. I am bad with names. But honestly, this card is stacked. Masha Slamovich again in action, taking on Miyu Watanabe as well. A stacked card from top to bottom. Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, despite the fact my pronunciation of names is so bad, is honestly one of the best shows every year during WrestleMania weekend. I really recommend checking it out. But while you are watching that, make sure to also tune in to Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast for our WrestleMania predictions at 12 p.m., I should say. Then, of course, at 2 p.m. Eastern, we have our weekly edition of Sold Separately, our wrestling collectibles show. And Clark and Anthony have filmed a special WrestleMania edition for you guys, so make sure to check that out on our YouTube channel right here at 2 p.m. PST. Now, I mentioned Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, but you guys should also check out another Japanese wrestling company, DDT Pro Wrestling, because they always have a blast when they come to the US for shows during WrestleMania weekend. 3 p.m. Pacific time, Minoru Suzuki versus Yoshihiko. One Cold Manders once again defending the Unified World WXW Championship against Yukio Naya. And I mean, Timothy Thatcher versus Shinya Aoki as well. Konosuke Takeshita from AEW versus Mao. This card is stacked. Then at 5 p.m., of course, SmackDown, the SmackDown before WrestleMania. It'll have the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial and all of that good stuff. But Friday Night SmackDown certainly isn't the highlight of the night, because immediately following it, Game Changer Wrestling, Joey Janela Spring Break 9. This is an event which really did pave the way for independent wrestling during WrestleMania weekend. It always delivers. It is always really silly, but really fun. This year we have a no-rope barbed wire match with Joey Janela taking on Sabu. Masha Slamovich versus Tsuyu Suzuki. AEW's Megan Bayne, taking on Bozilla. Zack Sabre Jr. taking on One Cold Matters. That's actually going to be a banger. And Mance Warner taking on Gabe Kidd. Another banger. Banger after banger after banger. Someone call Sheamus. Then at 8:30, we have the Future Stars of Wrestling WWE ID Championship Tournament. Of course, this tournament is taking place among a variety of independent promotions, and this card is stacked, featuring matches like Marcus Mathers versus Jackson Drake, Itzgal versus Cappuccino Jones, Brad Baylor versus Ice Williams. Again, this is the future of WWE potentially. Certainly worth a watch while also watching Joey Janela Spring Break. Then at 11:59 Pacific time, we have Heels Have Eyes for the culture. We have a steel cage match between Zilla Fatu and Josh Bishop. We have a 4th rope tag team championship match with the Hardys defending against a mystery team, it seems, and Matt Riddle versus Gabe Kidd, and Mustafa Ali versus Trevor Lee versus Leon Slater. That card is stacked. Honestly, guys, this weekend is so fun. Right, time for WrestleMania Saturday, and at 9 a.m. we have a special early edition of Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast where we will be discussing SmackDown before at 10 a.m. we have NXT Stand and Deliver. Immediately following NXT Stand and Deliver, we'll be doing a post-show for it here on Wrestling Republic, so that will be around 1 p.m. we imagine, but it'll be as soon as it finishes, basically. But during NXT Stand and Deliver, we have GCW's Effie's Big Gay Brunch 10. Massively successful show, always fun. Effie will be taking on the Dark Sheik. Zack Sabre Jr. will be taking on Kid Bandit. Abaddon will be taking on Sunny Kiss. Really is just one of those shows which is always a bit of fun, very enjoyable. Then at 2 p.m. we have a supercard, if I do say so, between TJPW, DDT, and GCW. Masha Slamovich will be teaming up with Konosuke Takeshita. Don't know why I messed that one up. To go against Miyu Yamashita and Shinya Aoki. And there's also just tons of other matches too. Really exciting card. Is very much tag team heavy based on the look of things, but you never know. They might announce some singles matches as well. I'd be surprised if they didn't, to be honest. Then, of course, 4 p.m. WrestleMania Saturday. Absolutely stacked card. Roman Reigns will be taking on CM Punk and Seth Rollins in a non-title triple threat match. The World Heavyweight Championship will be on the line as Gunther defends against main event Jey Uso. The WWE Women's Championship will also be on the line when there's a very real rivalry between these two, as well as Tiffany Stratton defends against Charlotte Flair. The US title will be on the line as LA Knight takes on Jacob Fatu. And the World Tag titles will also be on the line as the War Raiders take on the New Day. And what I'm personally the most excited for, Jade Cargill versus Naomi. That feud has been excellent. And of course, there's Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano as well. But don't go to bed after that show, because we have part 2 of Joey Janela Spring Break. Cluster F Forever. Basically, it's similar to the Royal Rumble. You can't really explain this match. Just watch it. It's absolute chaos, but always a hell of a lot of fun. Then, WrestleMania Sunday. First things first, 12 p.m. Pacific, we have got our WrestleMania Night 1 discussion. Make sure to check that out. But at 12 p.m. as well, there is also Future Legends Women's Tournament. And this one could be, there's a few sleeper matches on this card. Honestly, this could be a sleeper show of the weekend. But Maya will be taking on Brooke Havoc and Jada Stone. Keep your eye on that match. And Carolina Cruz will be taking on Zyda Steele and Zamaya as well. Another triple threat match which looks to be promising. A lot of triple threats this weekend, but I'm excited for them. Before, of course, WrestleMania Sunday, Cody Rhodes, John Cena, the WWE Championship main event. I am pumped for that. But I am also pumped for the Women's World Championship, a triple threat match, as Io Sky defends against Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. And for the Women's Tag Team Championships, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez will be defending against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. And for the Intercontinental Championship, we have a fatal 4-way with Bron Breakker defending against Penta, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio. There's also a Sin City street fight with Damian Priest taking on Drew McIntyre, and of course AJ Styles versus Logan Paul as well. What a weekend, guys. I am out of breath. There is just so much great wrestling going on. I am pumped for it. What events are you guys looking forward to the most? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the rest of our content we're doing across this week here at Wrestling Republic.